The extensor muscles are grossly undertrained. It's like the muscles that open the hand are usually grossly undertrained compared to the ones that squeeze. Because you think about it, squeezing is what everything focuses on. You hold a barbell, you hold dumbbells, kettlebells, you hold the bat, you hold the baseball. Life in general is about squeezing, not about opening. So those muscles tend to get underdeveloped. And a lot of these like elbow pain that guys eventually end up going through can be solved very quickly by just making sure the extension muscles are getting worked. So that was one quick note I wanted to say, is make sure you keep working that extension. So here's I basically got 2 different subsets of exercises for you. Don't do them all at once, don't add them all in. Just pick 1 or 2, add them into the program once or twice a week. Either focus on them for a few weeks at a time, rotate them since it's, just grip work, stuff like that. Get a feel for it. I would say rotate them all at first, get a feel for them, and then go from there. It's one of those things where 1 to 3 sets for a few reps, stuff like that will work out. So the first group of exercises I have is ones you can do the easiest in pretty much almost any gym. So I'm gonna go and switch to the first one now. All right, got my boy Sean here. He's gonna set up a heavier, more dynamic foam roll. So like you already mentioned, the wrist extension. So see how he's got this wrapped around the kettlebell? That's just a single loop. You can also use a weight plate if you don't have kettlebells, but then just put it around the barbell. See, he's got it actually double looped. Do you want to actually take it off, put it back on real quick?
Oh, I thought you got it. All right.
So here we go. Put it on, add a second loop. That part's gonna be kind of key to allow this thing to go. And then use that as the roller and go ahead and start pulling. You can go both directions. Again, the band is actually gonna add a little bit extra tension. Now, if we were doing this for real, the bar would be higher up, so it's gonna be like shoulder level, maybe even slightly higher, and you wanna make sure you're controlling it down. But this will also let you do a much heavier foam roller than you can do it the traditional way, where it's like a freestanding little PVC pipe or something like that. So that's one. Okay, next, you might already do these, but is using a sledgehammer and doing a sledgehammer circuit for your grip. Again, this allows you to work a lot of different muscles in your forearm in different directions. This is something that here, what I normally do is do have everybody do just 1 set of this entire circuit, anywhere from 8 to 15 reps. A great thing about sledgehammers is, you can have smaller, heavier hammers to work. You have 8-pound, 12-pound, or 8-pound, 10-pound, 12-pound, etc. And you can also make them harder by going further and further away with leverage. So the closer you are to the actual hammerhead, the easier it is. The further you work out, the harder it is with the same hammer. So no particular order, but you have just different leverages, like moving it back towards you, and just focusing on keeping this controlled, coming back, and then also the opposite, straightening it out and then pulling it back. You have rotations. You can either do full half circle or do just quarter at a time. For example, this, and then the other side, which this, by the way, is way harder for most people, internally rotating. Or you can do, again, the complete half circle. Again, one of the goals is to keep the arm itself still, other than the rotation part. And then one that a lot of people miss out on hits what's the owner's side, which is these muscles down here, and hits this. But in this case, you would actually grab the hammer upside down, just hold it down, and again, be just pulling it up, try to leverage that sledgehammer up towards your forearm. And then an extra sledgehammer exercise is called a finger walk. And here, this is a long hammer for this. This is a great one for shorter hammers. But again, you don't have to go the full hammer. And if you go the whole hammer, awesome. But literally just take your fingers on each side and try to only use those fingers. Walk the hammer all the way up or to a certain distance. And once you have that, control it while walking it back up. And so you can get it'll be different if the weight's above it or below it. And if you get really good at it, you can actually start using different finger combinations. You don't have to use 4 and 4. I've had some athletes go just 2 and 2, for example, at the end, or even use, for example, the middle fingers. Just like I said, you can keep making it harder different ways like that. Okay, then another one easy to do in most cases is that you can do with a lot of different exercises, just to simply make the bar, the grip itself, thicker somehow. Normally, don't do this on the biggest exercises, but sometimes we do, especially off-season wise, or a thicker grip is usually a way that you can automatically make an exercise harder without having to make it heavy, because it's going to usually be lighter. So we do occasionally do like fat grip style deadlifts or bench presses, overhead presses, things like that. But a good way to start working it in is to just take a lot of the smaller accessory exercises where the weight itself doesn't matter a lot, and then add a thicker grip as a way to get both the forearms and to change the exercise. So you can use either fat grips, like that's these. These are two different sizes. These are 2 1/4 inch. These are 2 3/4, I believe. They're literally just called fat grips, like with a Z at the end. Did you get on that? These are like 30, 40 bucks on Amazon, I think, something like that, you know, pre-inflation, I don't know. But it's really easy. You just literally take these over here, just slide them on like say the dumbbell or the barbell they fit on normally, and then grab it like that for the whatever exercise. You can also do it without that just by using a towel. You know, hand towels will be easier to wrap around the bar, and then all of a sudden you're grabbing it like that rather than the barbell itself. A little bit thicker. Just get that good grip in. But, you know, a normal towel works too. Again, just different things like that that'll help you get a thicker grip. And then moving aside from the grip, although you can combine it. In fact, that's actually what I'll do here. I'll put one of these on with one of these dumbbells, but is to also start introducing Zottman curls, kind of specifically. This is gonna go with the extension aspect of keeping the elbow healthy. Is a Zottman curl is a specific type of bicep curl, which helps get the elbow healthier and the forearm a little bit more. And what it is, it's basically a 2-part curl. You start the first part of the curl curling upwards like a traditional curl like that, but then at the top, before lowering it, you actually rotate it aside, kind of put this part of the forearm in control, and keeping your elbow close, you lower it under control. So again, it's a twisting dumbbell curl, but with a full twist, so it gets that reverse curl on the way down and that normal curl on the way up. But again, that's another big one for both the grip strength and elbow health. Cool. Yep. All right, the second part of the exercises, these are a little bit more specific, just meaning that you need specific equipment for them. You know, so well, the other stuff you can do in any weight room, this is stuff you'd actually have to go out and get. But again, one thing about grip stuff is, since most of it is fairly small too, it doesn't take a, you know, it doesn't matter. Biggest thing is finding it. Most of the stuff's like 40 to maybe 120 bucks max, something like that. One of the biggest companies you'll find the equipment is one called Iron Mind. Again, Iron Mind. I'll kind of go over these in general. Again, this is just pretty much a smorgasbord of different grip equipment in the sense that they're all attachments. So you could attach them to a loading pin, just like this. And you know, you put the weight on, attach that, do different types of holds or like just lifts off the ground. But a lot of these you can actually attach to the actual to different cable exercises themselves and do that way. So in no order, this one is from Power Center, Mike Bartow's Power Center, but it is an actual I-beam attachment. So again, like we'll do this with lat pull downs or actual pull-ups, seated cable rows, but it's really whatever you can come up with. But again, attach it and it lets you hold on to it like this and pretty much work the fingers that way. Another one is this one's, you see this every once in a while. I think this one is from Rogue Fitness, but just a basic like cannonball. They have some different sizes. Again, you attach it, can do single arm exercises with it. You get more of that actual baseball style grip with it there. You know, you can work it like this. You can work different combinations, kind of put the hand more over it or straight down the bottom. Again, pull downs, pull ups there, different rows. Then one of my favorites, our favorites here, is a Rolling Thunder. This is from Iron Mind, I believe, yeah. And you know, you can't tell from here, it's a thick handle, yes, but it rolls like it sounds. So again, you attach this to different bars or a loading pin. If you really want to go crazy with it, get 2 of them, attach them in the top for pull-ups. But what it does is it doesn't let you cheat by going through different grips, say like a false grip or really locking your arms underneath. Because as soon as you pick anything up with pressure, the fact that it rolls puts it right back here, so you have to squeeze the hell out of it. 2 other options when it comes to just general holding are, this is basically like it's called a Goku grip here. I mean, it's basically like just literally a candlestick, ninja stick, nunchuck type thing with a grip. which again, just different options there. This is called the Little Bighorn. This one's another Iron Mind. Again, just like it sounds, this one's a little bit heftier, but gives you a little bit different width grip as you go. And then another one of my favorites is the Hub. This one is from Iron Mind. And I said, this basically simulates your old school deep dish style weight plates where guys used to practice, and some still do, trying to pick up the weight plate from the middle by holding the hub as a part of their grip and finger strength. Most weight plates now don't have that deep dish interior. Some do, but again, you can also just do it this way with a hub. And so like very, very surprisingly difficult to pick this up. This would be another loading pin exercise. Come here, you know, generally try to torque the fingers, try to go with the actual pads of your fingers. You know, if you do something like that, it's gonna be easier, but again, that can be a different style grip too. I said, but this one's very hard because you find out when you actually take away a lot of those extra parts, like the side of your thumb, the inside of your palm, how much harder it is. So again, these are a lot of just different ones you can add in. Again, find out, but then you can really start looking at specifics like fingers or thinner grips or the ability to really hold something that tries to move along. So again, just different options.